our guy Sam, who is on vacation, shout out to Sam. I know you're listening. He highlighted a few guys that had graded well and could end up on the PFF50 next year. I thought the name O.J. Howard from the Bucs was the interesting one because in such a small sample size, he's proven to be that guy who can make great catches down the seam. We always liked his run blocking coming out of Alabama. He struggled a little bit in a rookie in our system because he fumbled 3 or 4 times on less than 30 catches, and run blocking wasn't up to par yet, but he had such a good year last year.
He did, and I think he is a perfect fit for Bruce Arians attacking the seams.
For sure.
He is that type of receiver. His speed, I've said it a lot in the pre-draft process, but the one thing, probably the biggest thing I look for in tight ends is just speed. If you have a guy who runs a 4.5 at tight end, you can just do things with that, like attacking the seams, attacking down the field. That a guy with a 4.8, you're not going to worry a safety running straight at him. A lot of tight ends aren't. O.J. Howard, though, legitimately has that. I think he's going to be in for a big, big year in that Bruce Arians offense. And it's kind of just been opportunities. He's just not really been on the field enough over the first 2 years to put up those big numbers. But if he was, his yards per route has always been fantastic, even as a rookie.
Yeah, and you see the other weapons that they have there. I think the Bucs have just done a really good job of having, they lose Deshaun Jackson, but you've got Chris Godwin, you've got Mike Evans, Cameron Brate, you've got all these different style playmakers on that team. So even with Adam Humphries moving on too, but they've done a nice job of having a lot of weapons.
And I think actually the other interesting name that Sam had on this, guys who could make the 50 next year, is also on the Bucs, and it's the first rounder from last year, Vita Vea. He was kind of swept under the rug because the Bucs were out of it, and he didn't start off. He started off, he was unhealthy towards the beginning of the season. Only started coming on down the stretch, but his play, over the last handful of games of the season was legitimately as good as we saw from any rookie defensive lineman a season ago. He had a ton of pressures. Let me see, 23 pressures over the last half of the season. He was legitimately had some games where he took over from a pass rushing and run defense perspective, was the player we thought coming out, and he was criticized a lot for the pick. We criticized it saying, a nose tackle that high, he better be playing a ton of snaps, and he was productive on them. So I think that pick maybe, it's not going to be Derwin James, but I think he's still going to be a darn good player.
Yeah, we said if you're going to take a nose tackle that high, he'd better be able to rush the passer. But if there's a guy that can rush the passer compared to previous nose tackles, Vita Vea is up there, just like we said, Dexter Lawrence of the Giants this year, similar. I like weighing the Danny Shelton, Vita Vea, Dexter Lawrence development, those 340-plus nose tackles, but Vita looked good.